Hey everyone, and hello, and welcome back to like an actual recorded video about Monster Hunter. Sorry, I haven't really been doing that series on Wilds. Night Rain got an amazing update. Some of the best video games I've played in years, since Neo 2 at least. So, if you haven't given Night Rain a shot, give Night Rain a shot. Okay. Purpose of this video is not about Night Rain though. It's about Monster Hunter. I even brought out an old Monster Hunter shirt I bought at Uniqlo. It's a Monster Hunter 4 shirt. I don't even think it's a 4 Ultimate shirt. I think it's just a 4 shirt. So if you were watching the Capcom showcase for Tokyo Game Show 2025, in their initial presentation, they showed this slide. And we're all like, fuck yeah, we finally get to see something about Monster Hunter Outlanders. Went through the whole showcase, no Outlanders. And then what this slide was actually saying is, we're not going to present on it, but if you're at our booth, you can play the game. I don't know what's going on over there. Wilds, guys, it is what it is. You could show other Monster Hunter games. It's still your game. I know it's being developed by Timmy, and full disclosure, I have been sponsored in the past by both Capcom and Timmy, and I own Capcom stock. So anything you hear here in my lizard brain, that might exist. So in any case, there is information and footage about Monster Hunter Outlanders that I've pulled out that I would like to show to you, and I will do my best to include links to the footage down below. It's not everything, but it's the best stuff that we have. So the first part is like an initial release trailer. It's been very carefully curated. And then the second part is an almost 7-minute long hunt that was shown at Tokyo Game Show. Whether that was really done live or whether it was pre-recorded, who knows? But I'm sure it will be a rough approximation to the final game. So without further ado, let's get started. So we're going to start with the official stuff. Mind you, as far as we know, the game has only been announced for phones. I would be shocked if this does not get a PC release as well. Timmy made Delta Force, Shooty Man, Call of Duty-like game. And that's what they sponsored me for before. And that got a PC release, and it looked good and it ran well. And you'll see with Outlanders, it looks good and it runs well. Now, again, they're showing this like it's in a phone. I think this is a PC. Like, I don't know, unless it's the most state-of-the-art like iPhone or Android, but I mean, just watch how smooth it is in motion. You know, no stutter, no hitching. I mean, it's to the point you're like how, what trickery is this? And it could very well be trickery, but if it runs even remotely close to as well in game as this, I would be excited. And mind you, it's not like when Capcom showed us Wilds in pre-release or Dragon's Dogma 2 in pre-release, it looked great. Dragon's Dogma 2 especially, I felt like in pre-release, they were even doing like motion interpolation on the video. I don't want to get into the details of that because I don't want to get into the weeds, but we've seen releases before where it was very clearly not running well and then fudged to look well. And then we're seeing this, and to my eyes, this looks like it's running well, and that looks like real frames. You get some other expert, get Digital Foundry to fact check it, but it looks okay to me. So mind you, it's a mobile game. Definitely free to play. Assume absolutely there'll be paid gacha. Okay, hold on. The thing that got me the most excited in this whole trailer is right there. Like, it's been so long. Like, Capcom really developed Hit Stop. It's been so long. It's been like really since World that we had satisfying Hit Stop. Like, this is almost like half a second. That's so good. No blood. Which I'm assuming, they're going for an all ages rating. But there are still visual effects, that trail and the sparks and the flinch does still sell it. For my money, I would spend the $10 adult mega gore pack, have blood cover the whole screen, but whatever. You played any of the American releases of Freedom and Freedom 2, Freedom Unite. We didn't have blood then, and we lived. So far, of course, nearly exclusively monsters that you would see from Monster Hunter World. I'm sure that is the vast majority of their character models that they're using, monster models they're using. But the visual effects have obviously been designed in a way so that it looks and sells well for a mobile game. In terms of weapons, in terms of movesets, as far as I can tell, they're still going to be like the main weapons. But then I'm assuming the way like the gotcha and stuff will work, and it's similar in Delta Force, is you'll have either paid or currency or gotcha or whatever characters, and they'll have a special thing they can do with that weapon. And I'm assuming Guitar Sword Lady, and we'll see it in the footage up ahead, has something unique to do with her guitar sword. I know somebody's gonna be like, you idiot, that's not a guitar, that's like a shamshir or whatever it is. Whatever. Don't get on me about that. So this is funny. They're like, new monsters. I mean, I think they're calling them radiant monsters, which is gonna be like whatever, variant, tempered, whatever you want to call them, the upgraded versions. And so I think out the gate, you're going to be getting, I would assume, mostly just the world monster roster, and then the upgraded versions are going to be these radiants. Then I wouldn't be surprised if on top of that, there's going to be probably like star levels. Purely speculation. He was drinking a potion as he got nuked. So, I'm not normally like a juicer for stuff like this. Probably the last time my heart was really in it was, drinking things in a spa in Monster Hunter Portable 3rd. But I will say, in terms of like the world standard, so to speak, the food, animation, and stuff in this cutscene looks nice. Like, I think, to my eye, I almost like the whimsy of that more than almost the hyper-realistic stuff in Wilds. Not that I dislike the stuff in Wilds. I like it. But that's sort of like cute. And especially if they have got like a ton of different ingredients, a ton of different preparations, that could be pretty fun for the cooking cutscenes. Of course, if it's an open world gotcha game, you got to have resource collection. So here you are chopping down trees. For like all the people that are watching this that are still into that. Have fun. Little building things, seems very similar to Wild Hearts. Fun that they actually coordinated a whole team like that to do their simultaneous helm breakers. I don't know if they used like developer tools to do that or not, but I appreciate it. I feel like so many times when you're seeing trailers of Monster Hunter, you're just seeing people getting blasted. I feel like you almost never see them actually doing anything good. So kudos to that. Okay, other big thing, and we're going to get to the website maybe after this, and then we'll show the full hunt, is it's not just probably gotcha for the hunters, or paid or whatever it's going to be, but you have companions as well. So we've had cats and dogs and shakalakas. Now there's like an owl. There's like a monkey. and they'll seemingly provide other benefits to you during the hunt. That looks like that is either an assist item or something that you just straight up build. I would assume that it was a cannon. It looks like you probably just built it. So it looks like the monkey provided a jump pad. Oh, yeah, and this part is obviously just cinematic, but it's going to be symbolic for what you will likely do in the game. Like, this isn't actual gameplay. So they do have closed beta sign up. I signed up. I might even try and grovel to make sure I get in. I had a contact over there at one point. So we'll see if I get in. If it's closed beta, I don't know if I would be able to talk about it. But definitely try and sign up. I think, yeah, I'm gonna pull up the website first. So let's look at that. Okay, so here's the website. You know, it's mostly just a recap of the sort of things that we saw in the video. Nothing too shocking there. You know, it's saying you're going to have companions and stuff, new adventurers, new companions. So presumably, again, going to be things that you pay for in some way or another, or you earn by doing things in game. Usually, that's how the games work. With the radiant species, like I was saying before, you know, they're just a little bit more glowy. I mean, presumably they're like tempered. Maybe they've got another special feature. Hit the radiant spot. Who knows? Wouldn't be surprised. The resource gathering, again, doesn't set my heart on fire, but I know there's people that can really get into that. So for those people, I'm happy. And then, you know, the environments do look large. And normally I would be like, you can't do this. The game's going to run terrible. It's going to look awful. But, you know, Genshin's been out for a long time now, like what, 5 years? So maybe at this point, especially with the mobile landscape, with the state of the hardware and, you know, texture compression and stuff like that, they have a way to make this look this smooth and run this well on a phone. I'm skeptical. Like, I don't think it could look this good on a phone relative to a computer, but you don't know. You don't know until you get it in your hands. Okay, here's the news talking about the sort of announcements. This is mostly I want to show here. So there are a couple different adventurers that are on display. So you can see that they're all going to be kind of split up. So she's Disruptor. I'm assuming Disruptor is going to have special abilities. They're going to be like, you know, think conceptually like a flash bomb, a sonic bomb, some sort of like maybe like a shock trap or pitfall trap. Or something else maybe that like reduces the defense of the monster in some way, only because like that looks to me to be like a little shield that's been broken. Again, if you were to pull for her or get her, I'm assuming she would be using dual blades. And I guess she's themed off of Kulu Yaku. Not 100% sure how that's going to work. You know, here's Madeline, same deal. She's themed after Pookie Pookie. So support, I'm probably going to provide healing for the most part, right? Not, I mean, she's holding like healing juice right there, a potion, and she uses a bow. So again, I'm assuming they're going to be locked into these. Would I be surprised in the future if you could pay or pull or do whatever on them and get them to either A, wear more armor, or B, use a different weapon? No. That would make a lot of sense. I mean, that's done all the time in gacha games. So like, oh, hey, they figured out something new. Buy them again. Here is Midori that we see the most of. She's using Rathian gear, and she's got a long sword. Assault, obviously going to have some ability to do burst damage or something like that. I don't know. Again, we'll watch the gameplay directly, and unfortunately, it's in Japanese. I could speak a tiny bit of Japanese, but the audio is like really bad, so like I just have it muted. I'm gonna leave a link so you can watch the full thing, and if you really know Japanese and you want to try and translate it, have fun. If not, we'll just have to guess from what we see on the screen. And then there is Pepe. Okay, and that was her earlier. with the Palomu where she like shot, she like blew air into a Palomu's ass or the other way around. And then she shot it at the monster. Again, Disruptor. Could have been she was doing a KO with that. And she's got a heavy bowgun. So maybe she'll have like status ammo or something like that. Here's some of the buddies. This is Rutako. Again, he uses tools to disrupt the monster. I thought he gave you a jump pad, but I could be wrong. This is Trillin. We definitely saw him doing something that was healing like having like a healing area. And then this is just Palico. I don't know if they're going to let you customize your own Palico or if he's literally just going to be Palico and he's Assault type. Again, it's only showing 2 monsters. It's showing Radiant Rathalos and then normal Rathalos. Like zoom in on that. Can I zoom in on the other ones? Oh, I can. Okay. That's cute. See their full designs that way. Okay, oh, that's neat then. Okay. I know I saw some people saying, justifiably, that they were disappointed that some of the weapon designs looked like world style, which is to say basic bone or basic ore with like a Palomu nutsack strapped on. And I would say for Pepe, that is mostly true. Although, if it's got this big fluffy thing at the end and it's got this big fluffy thing on the back, that's better than what I'm used to seeing. Midori's weapon obviously looks fine. I mean, that's, you know, as far as longswords go, that's a pretty good design. Pretty unique. Madeline's look okay. I mean, she's got these little vials popping out. I don't know if that's to indicate they're going to do, you know, whatever, poison or sleep status. I think that's okay. And I would say Rhea, yeah, it's definitely better than World, but I wouldn't necessarily say it's as unique as like a fully formed unique weapon model that we would have from either before World or after World. It's somewhere in between. For what is almost definitely going to be the free-to-play character, get used to it. That's usually the way it is in gacha games. Okay, so we're going to go back to the video. And I'm going to show off the whatever it is, 7 minutes of gameplay footage. So we'll finish this. I stitched everything together. So there we go. Okay, so this is, like, again, this is just recorded footage from Tokyo Game Show. I muted the background audio. It looks like there is gathering in the field. That's interesting. Something else that I found that was interesting was the your health bar has a numeric value on it. So you've always had a numeric value of health. It's like between like 150 and 250 usually if you have like a max potion on. And in this case, I think what I saw was like 150. Right, hard to see. Looks like maybe they'd already taken some damage. It's tough to see. But in any case, you could see the actual number. You know, so it still has damage numbers. To my eyes, the mobile UI takes up a lot of screen space, but I guess that's just how you have to do it. I almost never play games like this on my phone. I have an iPad that I use sometimes, which obviously helps with the screen real estate if it has like a tablet version. But I guess people are used to it. So, you know, hard to say. So normally Monster Hunter's got a couple buttons, right? You would have the equivalent of like a circle, a triangle and a circle. You could use the right trigger or the right bumper or either the left or right trigger to modify something. So they're definitely going to have to kind of simplify the moveset a little bit. And we could sit here and try to speculate all day long, and you could feel free to do it in the comments if you want. But, so, hold on. They must have pushed the button that is the equivalent of, like, using your ult in, like, Genshin. because it just like cut to a cinematic of her like looking around. That's funny. So I'll say even without blood, and again, like I'm a sicko. Um, to me, the hit stop is almost more necessary than the blood itself. Now there is somebody with them, and I'm guessing that you could set someone as an automatic hunting companion. I don't think they're playing with another person, but they could be. Obviously, the game is going to be set up so that if you want to hunt with 4 people, you could just hunt with 4 people. I assume that would be insane if you couldn't. We've seen 4 people together, but I don't know, and it's an interesting idea on whether or not the person that's shooting that bow is an AI or an actual human. So decent amount of at least supportive endemic life that's out there. You can see them doing or attempting to do the same thing that you would do in oh my god, I almost called it Tokenin. This exact thing exists in Wild Hearts. Like, I think literally this exact creation of like shoot one thing to another thing and then you've got a line. And then of course you got your little hang glider. This thing too, if it just launches you in the air, same exact thing. Legally distinct Wild Hearts for mobile. But I'll say, I mean, one of the biggest problems with Wild Hearts was, again, performance was pretty bad. Art design felt very muted. It wasn't an especially colorful game, but then it wasn't an especially like extremely realistic game. It felt like it was a game designed for the PlayStation 4 that got pushed into next generation consoles. And that is probably my biggest complaint with it. Challenge-wise, it was definitely quite a bit of a challenge. And if you're willing to play a game where it feels like you're constantly moving in slow motion, I would say maybe check out Wild Hearts at one point. Okay. The Radiant Rathalos just turned pinkish, purplish. And I'm assuming it's like in a heightened state. Likely it will do more damage. I can't quite tell, and it would be interesting to see whether or not you still have your red health recovery. Kind of feels like you don't. It feels like you just take damage and you take that damage, which is a little bit of a shame. I mean, the red health recovery has always been something that has been an interesting mechanic to play around in Monster Hunter. So because it's designed for mobile, it's clear that they're going to make it so that your lock-on is, what do I want to call it? Really sticky. Because, you don't have like enough fingers to like be moving around multiple joysticks all the time. Like you've got your movement, but then your other thumb pretty much just has to be pushing the buttons the whole time. And I can't even tell if that's like completely automatic for choosing the logon. I'm sure you could just tap somewhere on the screen to change it. But that'll be interesting to see how that's handled. Right, there's our cinematic. For those of you that are like really, really, really into gacha, is that something you ever get tired of? It's so quick. I don't feel like it would ever get annoying, but when you've got like constant 5-second interruptions of this girl smirking at the camera, I think it's kind of funny. All right, and that looks like that's it. So probably a very early Radiant Rathos. I wouldn't be surprised if this is like an early game tutorial hunt. Everyone's clapping, as they should. They did it. Whether it's live or not, who knows? He's acting like it's live. I think that just showed that they made 3,000 Zenny. That's saying they got a Rathalos tail, potentially a Radiant Rathalos tail. Okay, so I guess that's it. We've been going for a little while now, 25 minutes. You know, I am cautiously optimistic with what I saw. I'm not saying Wilds is dead to me. I'll be back for Title Update 3. I'll be back for Title Update 4. But until the performance is consistent and it feels smooth and good to play, and until there is something that feels like as rewarding and engaging as pretty much all of the other endgame content in Monster Hunter has been, I'm going to keep playing Night Rain or other stuff. Just the way it is. But this, if there's one bright side to gacha games, and there are people out there that will never pick up a gacha game because they just despise that payment model, and I do not blame them. But the bright side is because it's free to play, they got to keep releasing content to keep people coming back, because they want the 1 to 10,000 people that swipe their credit cards for several $100s a month to keep everybody employed. So we'll see. Okay, that's it. Stick around for Night Rain live streams or otherwise. I don't know. It's September 25th. We should be getting Title Update 3 within a week, right? I should probably know the date. I don't know. I don't care. I'll play it when it's out. Goodbye.